It's the peak of the holiday rush. You need a driver immediately, and a friendly, eager candidate walks in. To get them on the road today, you skip the background check. 2 weeks later, you get a phone call. That same driver just totaled the company van and injured another motorist. When the police run his license, they find 2 recent DUIs. The injured party files a negligent hiring lawsuit against your business. Because you handed the keys to someone with a documented history of reckless driving without checking their record, you are now entirely responsible for the damages. As a small business owner or HR manager, you have to keep costs down and fill roles fast. Waiting on a background check feels like expensive, complicated red tape standing between you and a fully staffed team. But this table compares the actual math of that decision. Running a proper screen costs roughly $50 and takes 2 days. Hiring blind exposes you to tens of thousands of dollars in legal fees, settlement costs, and reputational damage. Your upfront screening costs are fixed and capped. But if a bad hire harms a customer or damages property, your liability as the employer is effectively unlimited. Skipping the background check is an asymmetric risk. Doing it right costs a little time and money. Skipping it can cost you the entire business. The legal term for this is negligent retention. It means if you hire or keep an employee who poses a threat, and a basic public record search would have revealed that threat, you are legally responsible for their actions. It puts your company culture, your staff's physical safety, and your physical assets on the line. Let's look at an internal role. You hire a polished office manager to handle accounts payable, basing your decision entirely on a stellar interview and unverified reference letters. 6 months later, invoices stop matching your bank statements. You soon discover this manager has a documented history of embezzling from their past 3 employers. This is the core trade-off of hiring. You have to accept the friction of waiting 2 to 3 days for a screening report. That pause is the only reliable filter you have to keep direct threats out of your operations. The return on investment is immediate. Paying a screening provider a small fee per candidate completely removes the risk of replacing stolen assets or paying thousands in severance to remove a toxic hire. Background checks function as a high-yield liability insurance policy. They provide the most direct, low-cost way to protect your business from internal threats and long-term litigation. Smart screening does not mean running a massive, expensive, top-secret clearance check on every single employee. You only pay for what you actually need. This matrix outlines 3 core screens: criminal history, employment verification, and motor vehicle records. Align checks to risks. For a warehouse worker, verify criminal history and past employment. Driving records are irrelevant. Conversely, for a mobile sales rep, pulling their MVR is an absolute necessity. A strict one-size-fits-all approach to screening is dangerous. It wastes your budget on unneeded data and needlessly delays your ability to make a job offer. Map the specific check to the job description. It keeps your hiring pipeline fast and your budget lean, while securing the exact protection you need. The Fair Credit Reporting Act, or FCRA, establishes the mandatory framework for treating candidates fairly. These rules provide a clear, predictable standard for how you use candidate data during the hiring process. This timeline translates FCRA compliance into a simple sequence. Step 1. Standalone disclosure. You must inform the candidate in writing via an independent document, not hidden in an application. Step 2. Written authorization. Secure explicit, signed permission before initiating any checks. Suppose a report flags a severe criminal record, but it's actually a clerical error belonging to someone else. This is why Step 3 exists. Hit pause. In Step 3A, pre-adverse action, provide the candidate a copy of the report and time to dispute errors. This mandatory pause prevents throwing away a good candidate over a glitch. If the data is accurate and undisputable, move to Step 3B, final adverse action. Here, you formally withdraw the job offer in writing. Follow this exact unbending workflow every time. You cannot cut corners here, but executing these 3 steps properly guarantees you are legally protected. Scaling a business requires reliable, verified data. You cannot build a safe, productive team based on blind trust in a 30-minute interview. If you occasionally hire a casual weekend contractor who never touches your finances or interacts with customers, you might bypass a full check. That for your core W-2 employees, proper screening is non-negotiable. You don't need to become a compliance lawyer to protect your assets. You just need a structured, repeatable process. Here is exactly what you need to do today. First, audit your open job descriptions. Look at the specific tasks and identify the actual risk profile for each role. Second, match those roles only to the necessary checks. Decide right now which positions require criminal checks, which need employment verification, and which demand a motor vehicle record. Third, partner with a reputable FCRA-compliant background check provider. A good software platform will automate the heavy lifting, instantly issue the standalone disclosures, and manage the authorization paperwork for you. Accepting the minor friction of waiting a few days for a compliance report is the cheapest, most effective liability insurance a growing business will ever buy. Put the process in place and hire with confidence.
Speed, price, accuracy. Pick all three with Rapid Hire Solutions.